Welcome to Intro to Glogster and Glogster EDU by the Mary F. English program. In this lesson, I'll show you how to get started making interactive posters using Glogster. With a regular paper poster, you can only include text and images. With a Glog, you can include text, images, audio, and even video. You can also make every object on the screen a link to take your viewer to more information. Now there are two versions of Glogster you need to know about. There's Glogster.com, which is basically a social network like Facebook that anyone can use, and Glogster EDU, which is specially designed to be appropriate for school classrooms. We're going to focus on Glogster EDU for teachers in this presentation, but I'll start by logging into Glogster so you can get a sense for how it works and why it might not be appropriate for classrooms. You can sign up for an account by clicking this, but I already made one, so I'm going to start here. As I said, Glogster.com is kind of like a social network, so it may ask you for some of your information, but you don't have to provide it. If you want to create a Glog right away, you can click this button and then select one of these templates below. A lot of these are really good templates actually, but you also have the option of starting a blank one. But the social network component of Glogster is this Pulse thing, which is basically like a news feed for Facebook, except this is a collection of the most popular Glogs that have been created in the past few days. And I mean, some issues here. So that's why Glogster is not appropriate for you to use in a K through 12 environment typically. But Glogster's interactive poster maker is actually really good for schools. So fortunately, they offer edu.glogster.com, which is completely separate from Glogster.com, the social network. And it allows you, the teacher, to create an environment where only you and your class can create Glogs together, without giving them access to the weird things they might come across on Glogster.com. So if you're a teacher, you can sign up using these buttons, or if you're a parent or a student, you would navigate to here. But I already have an account, so I'm going to log in. And again, this is a different account than the one on Glogster.com. They are not overlapping in any way. So log in. And this is the basic Glogster EDU interface. You can create a new Glog here. The Glogs that you've already made will be listed under this tab. You can sort your students into classes by creating a class. Just come up with a name and a description. And you can also give an icon for the class and then click Save. And this would be our class homepage. You can see how many students you've added to it, how many Glogs have been created, and how many projects have been made. Class projects are basically your way of giving your students an assignment. So we would start a project here. We would select a template to give our students. I'm going to go with this blank Glog here. If you don't like these, you can go to create a new Glog. And then name the project. Give it a description. And it's optional, but you can put some tags on here. Then after you have your project all filled out, you can assign it to different classrooms. So if you've created multiple classes, you can assign the same project to each. And then save your project. And the assignment will now be available to the students in your classrooms. However, we haven't actually added students yet, so you go to the Students tab here and go to Add New Students. Now this is the free edition of Glogster EDU, so it tells me how many unused accounts I have left. I wouldn't recommend using this option because then you'll have to manually set the password for every single student. I don't know why it's so inconvenient. So instead I recommend this option. You would copy and then paste this link in an email to the parents of all your students, and also copy and paste this here, because then when they visit this link, they're going to have to enter this code, and then they can create a username and then join your classroom. But for illustration purposes, we're just going to create 5 random users right now. I have to refresh it to see it. And now that we have students, we can add them to a classroom. So I'll go to my grade 7 4th period, add students here, and then I can assign all the students that are a part of that class. And there you have it. So we'll go back to our dashboard, and now all the students who are signed up for this class will receive a notification on their profile that there's this one project they have to do, which is create an abolitionist poster. And under projects here, we can go to the abolitionist poster assignment. You can see all the students who are assigned to it, and if they've made and submitted something yet, you can see it and click through it from here. And that's basically what you need to know to get your students on Glogster. I don't use portfolios or presentations or messages often. I think these are the only 4 options you really need to get it all set up. Okay, now that all that boring stuff is taken care of, I'll just go ahead and show you how you can create your own Glog. This is a blank one, but it includes a few graphics from the start. I'm going to click them and click the delete key. And the interface is really easy to use. Just click Tools, and then you can insert text, graphics, image, wall, page, audio, video, and data. Wall is this part, and page is this other background. Graphics, meanwhile, are their pre-made graphics that are Glogsters. Image is what you would add from your own links. And data is any other kind of file you want to link people to download through your Glog. So we'll get started by adding our images, and we'll upload 3 very cool people. And you can see it's uploading up here. This will take a couple minutes actually. Then once those pictures are ready, you can hold the Shift key to select all of these images, click Use It, and they'll be inserted into the page. Since these are really big, we're going to move them down and shrink them. You can also, with these arrows, you can rotate the images, but we're going to just leave them straight. So I laid out the images the way we want. If you click any object in the top left corner, there's going to be a bunch of buttons. This would move an object to the front, this would send it to the back, this would create a duplicate of an object. This would return it to its previous size, so it would get really big if I click that. And this is handy, it locks it in place so you can't move it around. And this is cool, it'll turn any object on the page into a link. So we could make Frederick Douglass a link to his Wikipedia page. So you just get the URL and apply. For some reason it doesn't let you right click to paste, but you can Control V. And I'll go ahead and do that for each of these. Okay, so now when we go to preview our Glog, if I clicked on any of these, you can see when I click on their pictures, a link shows up, so you can get further information. So let's go back to editing, and now we'll change the layout of the page. You can go to wall, gallery has some nice options. Go to paper, make it look like an old parchment. We can change the page. I'm going to use a solid color for that. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to insert some word bubbles. So since we want to quote each of these people as part of the assignment, I'm going to insert multiple word bubbles. Now I'm going to copy and paste text in each of these. I'm going to double click to be able to enter my text. And if I don't press Flexi, then it's not going to automatically resize to the size of the word bubble. So make sure you click Flexi, and then do that for each of these, and move them into place. We'll add a title to our page. Styles has some decent title banners, so move that to the top, double click, and choose Flexi. Oh, I gotta change the color, which actually can be done with this dropper here. Make it a gray. Okay. And last but not least, we should insert a video. So you go to video here, and we're going to do a link. So once you have a YouTube video you'd like to include, just take the URL, copy and paste, add to my files. Once it pops up, you can select it from here and press use it. Then drop that into place, resize it however you want. We'll add a title for this one. Go into text, style, and there you go. This isn't the best Glog in the world, but I hope you get the idea. So you go to preview, you can see how you have these active links for these objects, and you can test out your video. Audio is playing, you guys can't hear it through the microphones. And that's that. So let's go ahead and save it. They're going to have you select what type of category. If you want, you can put a tag there. You can make it public or finished or unfinished. We're going to make it public. Okay. And you can copy a link to, maybe you can send this to your teacher or to your class. And that's that. And that's all you really need to know to get your class started using Glogster. To be honest, I find the program can be a little buggy and doesn't quite do everything like I'd like it to. But with a little practice, you can overcome that, and your class can make some really cool interactive posters. That does it for this lesson. Thanks for watching.